thing is
only
with
have
Snapchat.
people on social media.
I know a lot of people can
who
agree
I
on
genuinely
they
know.
spend
Because
hours
I
on
only ever
TikTok
feel
not even
comfortable
realizing
sharing
it.
when
certain
people are
parts of my life
intimidated,
with people
I've noticed
Go down to the
people
pool,
just
take
take
I
selfies
actually
of
care
herself
about.
for an hour, and then left her
really
friends.
push. It's
for
very
less cell
overstimulating.
phone usage.
I usually am in a rush to go to my destination, whether it's my apartment or to class or even to get lunch. I usually say hi to people. Most of the time I compliment people's outfits or like their hair, like what they're wearing and stuff like that. I'm very open, even though I wear my AirPods around campus and it might look like I'm not approachable. Like I'm usually the one to break the barrier between the intimidation of people not wanting to talk to me to actually showcasing my personality.
Whenever I go across campus, I always recognize people either through different social circles or interactions I've had with them these past 2 years. And I always make an effort to say hi to them and make sure that they know that I see them, that they're real people in my life that have an effect on me. And usually people like smile, they wave, and on campus I think the environment is extremely friendly. I have smaller classes, so for me the philosophy department, though I only see these people in class, our discussions are very involved and I feel like I get to actually know them because I am aware of their thoughts and their ideas. Saying hi to them doesn't really feel abnormal. It feels genuine.
There's definitely a separation between the people that I enjoy being around and the people that I find it harder to be around with the distraction of cell phones. And just because I've noticed that there's some people who are always on their phones and trying to get pictures, I tend to have way better connections with people that I can just naturally stay off of my phone around, or they encourage me to not be on my phone as much.
I use my phone to talk to family members and communicate with my friends and stuff like that. I know social media is a big thing. I don't have Snapchat. I hope Snapchat dies, actually. I know a lot of people that we would follow each other because we went to Rollins, but I don't know them personally. So it didn't make sense for me to keep up with what they were doing. There were moments where I would see what they were doing on Snapchat and like watch their stories through social media, but then seeing them in person and not really knowing them. Like when they were doing something like going to the beach or something and like I was in my dorm room, I was like, well, what am I doing in my life? So I would compare myself with them, which affected me.
I think in general, social media, well, people use it to show the best image of themselves. So it's like an artificial them. I think people find an extreme amount of comfort going back on their phones and will avoid any kind of awkward interaction or formal interaction just because they're so used to being behind a screen. And nowadays, I guess it could be hard for people to just even look up and say hi to you. And it's much easier just to look down on your phone and continue walking and be in an artificial world instead of the genuine world. I think social media is not just a barrier in itself, but is a tool people use to create barriers between them.
I remember when I would message people, like I would always wait for them to respond back in like their Bitmoji or something like that. I had it for like max 2 months because I got here from Rollins and that's what everyone was using and still uses. I think our generation can work on interpersonal connections, but I feel like it will be a process because it's a form of addiction. And addiction is something that takes a journey to go through. But I feel like it should be worth going through that because it affects mental health and our self-confidence and how we view each other and even ourselves.